Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Om 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Om Shri Ram Jai Ram जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम 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 जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम
जय जय
राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम
Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. Hari Om. Pranam, pranam, pranam. Pranam, pranam, pranam. Today what is to be shared? We were going through the outpourings, which Papa said, it contains struggles, prayers, and experience. In-depth study of Inquest of God becomes complete. It can never become complete. Relatively complete, okay. By also dwelling upon the words in the cave. Probably we can say that is the quintessence, essence. Every para, either it can be treated as an expression of struggle, or an expression of prayer, or an expression of his experience. Let us not read it just like that. 2-3 things it makes us to understand. That the journey is not smooth. In spite of his surrendering so much, he still felt there are some areas which are disturbing him. So what about us? So not that we should get disheartened or dispirited. It shows how tedious or strenuous is the path. Papa says, spirituality is no joke. Lukewarm enthusiasm, we read in that heroic spirit, Lukewarm enthusiasm will not help us. There should be a commitment on our side. We all have to think that we have been associating with Papa's thoughts for ages now, for decades. We should not be merely satisfied by something. Along with chanting of Ram Nam, so many things are to be followed because we are not full-timers. Otherwise, our life will be like this. Today we are happy, next day we will be unhappy, one day we will lose, another day again. It will be like a pendulum. We want something that is the serenity, which He has promised. Serenity is the outcome of attributing every object of thought to God. That is what is called serenity. The serenity he expressed in the 37th chapter, end of the day, end of the chapter, end of the text. He says Ramdas lives there in serenity. That serenity is an outcome of associating every object of thought with Him. Very clear. So Ramnam should enable us to identify every object of thought with Him. So that prayer also should go along with our Ramnam. So far we have been chanting Ramnam. That chanting has taken us to this stage. Beyond this stage, if we have to move, what is to be added has also to be added. And then the Ramnam will stay with us with a different meaning. We are chanting the name of one who is within us. We are chanting the name of one who is making me to chant. I am chanting the name of one who is activating the very life in me, the very life in everybody. The chanting of Ramnam should enable me to know that I am not to limit myself to this body-mind-intellect complex or to the sense of individuality. Papa roars, yesterday we were reading that second article, asserts your divinity, So Ramnam chanting should enable us to assert our divinity. After the chanting, I am back to my sense of individuality. Please don't do that. Enable me to understand my real nature. After the chanting or after any discipline, I again limit myself to the sense of individuality. Whereas you wanted me to associate with every object of thought with God. That means there is nothing else, absence of otherness. So the outpouring helps us to get stabilized in this. The first lesson before we enter into the outpouring, the relevance of this dialogue, serious dialogue, not a casual dialogue. And honesty and sincerity in placing everything open. There is nothing called secret or hiding, Whatever God prompted him to write, he wrote it for the sake of all of us. Absolutely innocent, pure, honest, upright. Otherwise, how can he write, "Oh Ramdas, you are nothing"? you are full of deficiency, all those things, how can he write? That was the prompting God gave him to write. And he wrote it. O Ram, destroy Ramdas's desires. A person who left everything on 27th December 1922, nothing to fall back upon excepting God and God alone. And throughout the journey, we found there is no desire, no spoken out. Suppose some sankalpa comes, immediately that is fulfilled by God. Rare, very rare. In 2 or 3 chapters or something. But he says, destroy Ramdas's desires. Crush them out of him. So this also shows that not only that we should have a serious dialogue with him, so we pray to him to talk to him, to have a dialogue with him, where we place ourselves totally, not that he needs, but for our own sadhana, we place barely before him. You remember Vinobaji's talks on the Gita, the first chapter.
How can I make all days feel happy? Because day by day we feel happy, joy, and sadness.
That is, only by remembering God, only by attributing everything to Him, we can be ever in joy. It is very, very clear. The present happiness, because this happiness is dependent upon objects, individuals, situations. Whereas we want an object which is objectless happiness. This is our original nature, we have forgotten. That is why we crave, for this and that and this and that. So at least now we have been, from his experience, he says, eternal happiness is something like objectless happiness. Because it is not dependent upon any factor. We try to go deeper and deeper into it. Now, this, again back to in the cave. The dialogue and the mental attitude. We are trying to at least we must try to hand over, no? The sense of individuality will not allow us to hand over. It will still. Kalotsavam. Now here, this one. So what is to be developed, Arjuna, the word Arjuna in fact means one who is honest and straightforward. Okay? He candidly told Krishna all that he felt and thought. Adhana. Hid nothing from him, ultimately surrendered to him. This is something to be developed by us. He candidly told Krishna. That means we are telling the indwelling power. Ram. All that he felt and thought, hid nothing from him, and ultimately surrendered to him totally. In fact, he was already his devotee. Otherwise, who will hear 18 chapters, When he made Krishna his charioteer and entrusted to him the reins of his horses, he had got ready to give into his hands the reins of his mind also. Let us do likewise. Let us not think that unlike Arjuna, we do not have Krishna to guide us. Let us not get caught in the fallacy that Krishna was a historical person. Everybody has Krishna residing in his heart as the indwelling self. Now we are coming to the in the cave, same thing. Let us bare our heart with all its impurities and weaknesses. Before him, Papa laid everything before Ram, Let us bare our heart with all its impurities and weaknesses before him and say, O Lord, I take refuge in you. You are my sole guide, my master. Show me the right path, and I shall follow it. You gave me a sense of individuality. You made myself unaware of your presence. Now you should show me some technique by which I become aware, please. If we do so, Vinobaji says, Arjuna's charioteer will be our charioteer too. We shall hear the Gita from his own lips, and he will lead us to victory. That is what, the victory here is serenity. Now, Papa's last word, now, this was in 1923, that means after he came and after the, outpourings, everything is over. Ramdas stays by Ram's command in a cave called Panjabandava cave on the Kadri hill and lives there a serene life, devoting his whole time in talking about, writing of, and meditating on that all-loving, glorious Ram. While the reading of the 37th chapter becomes complete only when we understand this, The serenity which is the outcome of his entire sadhana. What is the sadhana? Identifying every object of thought with God. This is to be remembered always, not to be forgotten. So that he has given it in a capsule form, the entire, even if we don't go through the entire inquest of God, even if we don't go through any scriptures, even if we don't do anything, if we are committed to attribute everything with the everything, every thought of object, every object of thought to him, then we have reached the point of serenity. There we have no job except to dwell on him. So far we did not understand the relevance of this outpourings. We would not have given any importance at all, to be very frank. Not out of disrespect to Papa, but its relevance, But when he made us to know through in some satsang that it contains nothing but struggles, prayers and experience, with that background when we started looking, yes. And his words, in spite of surrendering so much to God, still why are you disturbing me? Why are you make me to label it as a down-pulling force? Then immediately God replies, why do you see me? Why do you separate me from anything? I am in everything. So the moment I bring in his dimension in the so-called down-pulling thoughts, God assures us his face gets changed. Destruction is not possible. Transformation is possible. Destruction of a thought is not possible. But we can transform them. What could be the purpose? Without purpose, he will not bring it. So the moment we bring his dimension, its face gets changed. So only after reading that we came to know of the relevance of this in the cave. And we were wondering, why it was not shown to us before. He answers, if it was shown to you before, you would not have understood, man. You will not be able to connect it. You have to go through this process, and at the appropriate time you will be able to connect it. So now it is very clear that in-depth study of In Quest of God becomes relatively complete only when we go through our heart pourings. Which contain nothing but his struggles, prayers, and experience. So in the first and second we read the other day, O Ram, for each and every para we have to do lot of manana. We have to combine this with Ramnam. I am chanting the holy and all-powerful Ramnam to make me know that thou art father, mother, brother, friend, preceptor, knowledge, fame, wealth, and all. Sole refuge thou art. Make thy slave merge always in thee alone. It is for that purpose you are making me to chant. Sole refuge thou art. Make thy slave merge always in thee and thee alone. The sense of individuality is getting connected with so many things on outside. Father, mother, brother, friend, preceptor, knowledge, name, fame, wealth, this, that, I should not see them as separate. You are that. Because the source is one. I never knew that I belong to that source. But later on you made me to dwell on you. And then you made me to know, yes, a simple fact came up in my mind. I was not consulted when the birth was given to me. If I have a say in my birth, the present me, the me and mine, I was not consulted. When the father deposited the seed in my mother's womb, I was not consulted. So that the very fact I remember. And now I arrogate or I insist that I am planning, I am doing everything. I just go according to what I feel. Hey, look here. You yourself have come not because of you, but because of me. So that first para, O Ram, thou art mother, father, brother, friend, preceptor, knowledge, everything owes its origin only to you. Name, fame, wealth, power, position. Sole refuge thou art. Make thy slave merge always in thee and thee alone. So it comes under the prayer, So this prayer we have to attach with our Ramnam. So Ramnam is for making me aware that everything owes its origin to Ram only. Hari Om. And then, O Ram, what thy slave Ramdas should do or should not do must be determined by thee alone. The asserting nature of the sense of individuality, submits. O Ram, what thy slave, normally I feel, I have to do this, I will do that, but here, what thy slave, first of all, we should know that we are his slave. We are the master now. Not only the master of, I want to be the master of all. That is why I assert. My rights and wrongs are to be accepted by everybody. My likes and dislikes are to be accepted by everybody. My preferences and priorities are to be appreciated by everybody. Otherwise, there is a struggle. I resist. Whereas, here, when I chant Ramnam, I should know I am a slave. Slave in the sense, I have come from him. I am an offspring. Oh, what thy slave Ramdas should do or should not do must be determined by thee alone. He is bewildered, he is helpless. Make him resign all to thee. Make him resign all to thee. Let him live, move, have his being in thee. Let him eat, drink, sleep, move, sit, stand, talk, think, look, hear, smell, touch, do everything in thy name and for thy sake only. O Ram, O Divine Mother, Ramdas is thine, totally, completely. Heart, soul, body, mind, everything, everything. Not a single activity of the body is left out here. So when we go through it again and again and again and again and again, while doing sitting or moving, while drinking or while going to sleep, while standing, while thinking, while looking, while hearing, while smelling, while touching, at least one of them, we try to bring. He says, do everything in thy name and for thy sake only. You made me to sit, you made me to talk, you made me to see, you made me to smell, you made me to walk. Like that, we keep on thinking. Again we may forget, again we will practice. When we were children, in the sports class, leaving the academic side, the PT teacher will tell us to do something. We may not be able to do it, but he will say, do it, do it, do it. Long jump, high jump, pole vault, anything. At one go, none of us have mastered it. So similarly, we will try any of these, one step. So indirectly Papa is telling, you would have completed reading, you would have completely gone through it extensively, but all of it should come out in this form, that all your activities should should be dedicated to Him. Otherwise, you still feel, no, you have done this, you have done that. 11 times I have meticulously I have done. No. At least I should start. Second para is really the guideline. O Ram, what thy slave Ramdas should do or should not do must be determined by thee alone. He is bewildered, he is helpless. Make him resign all to thee. So far I have been arrogating, unknowingly arrogating, asserting. Because I was not aware of your presence behind my thought, word and deed. So I developed my own concept. And then I was asserting that this thought. And then naturally, therefore, I had to pay for it. But now that you have made me to know that you are behind everything as the life force, I am trying to submit myself totally to you. These are all the activities that you make me to do. And when I am plunged in the activity, again I am not seeing you. I am walking, I am talking, I am smelling, I am writing, like that. I am reading. You are not in the picture. But through this, God wants us everything to be in the passive voice, not in the active voice. So first two, kindly go through it again and again. We will try to go through 1 or 2 chapters every day. What is important is, it is not a simply reading. There should develop a commitment in my heart that I will start doing this. At least one activity I will try to attribute. That is how I slowly equip myself, empower myself, enable myself to go further. There should be a starting point, Reading is not a starting point. What I do in my life is the starting point. Actualizing the principles in my very life. I don't have to go anywhere. Whatever I do at any place, I should be able to attribute it to you. So we will again read, O Ram, thou art father, mother, brother, friend, preceptor, knowledge, fame, wealth and all. Sole refuge thou art, thy slave, merge always in thee. Make thy slave merge always in thee alone. Make me thine and thine only forever and ever. What is that word in Marathi?
तुझ्या आणि देवा तुझ्याची करावं.
Tuja ani deva tujachi chara. So that is, make me thine and thine only forever and ever. And the second one, O Ram, what thy slave Ramdas should do or should not do must be determined by thee alone. %99.99% we may be able to do. We may not be able to do this. But 1% we can still, not 1%. He is bewildered, he is helpless. Make him resign all to thee. Make him resign. At the moment, no. Let him live, move, have his being in thee. Let him live, move, let him eat, drink, sleep, move, sit, stand, talk, think, look, hear, smell, touch. Do everything in thy name and for thy sake only. O Ram, O Divine Mother, Ramdas is thine, totally, completely, heart, soul, body, mind, everything.
Swamiji, sorry, I could not understand this. Saying, let him eat, drink, sleep, move, sit, stand, and do everything in thy name still be doing everything, but in His name. So
What
does it mean? I mean, it seems to me.
He is making me to
we are
walk.
still separate.
He is making me to walk. He gave me a sense of individuality with the BMI, body mind interest complex. I forgot. He is slowly making me aware that without him I cannot exist. I do not exist. So in order to make me aware of his presence, through these words, he is telling me, when you walk, think that you are made to walk. Why? We wants you to go to a particular place. Everywhere only in thy name and for thy sake. Normally we say we have to go to the shop for purchasing. We have to go to that particular railway station to catch the train, to go to that place. These are all the way in which we have trained our mind to talk, to express. But now along with that, we are trying to add one more word. Wherever it is possible, it cannot be. Suddenly you cannot bring it. God made, mentally, we need not tell anybody. God made me to book a ticket for ashram. God made me to go there. God made me to stay there. God made me to hear these words. God made me to sit and hear. So everything in a crowd. So everywhere we try to bring in. And we forget, okay. But this, suppose we start this,
Yes, yes. Thank you.
slowly. It will not come easily because the mind has been arrogating so far, that he is the doer, he is the planner. So it is difficult. But now that he makes us to know this, we will make an attempt. When we make an attempt, we have been assured he will come out of the inner chamber and he will hold us his hand, our hand, and make us to move. Even then we may not realize, but he is there. So let us make him move. Whatever in these two stanzas, every day let us make a commitment that we will try this. So along with Ram Nam, we will add this in our mind. You are making me to chant Ram Nam, to get myself, to bring everything to you, to connect myself with you through all my co-creations. So far I have been treating them as separate from me. Whatever you make me to do through my BMI, that is also I must be able to. So I chant Ram Nam to connect myself, everything that I do with my BMI. We can word it in any way we want. But this should be there. The sense of agency has to be erased for handing ourselves over to him, lock, stock and barrel. Then only the serenity which he enjoyed can be ours. Otherwise, rest of the things we may be doing, like the one who, the rowing. Everybody knows that, na?
Yes, Swamiji.
Ah.
All the 60 feet are an appeal from prayer by the inner self to that of the Almighty.
Appeal to the inner.
Everything we have to attribute.
Yes.
We have to somehow attribute. Very difficult. But no choice, no other way, no alternative.
Second to second, the prayers could be.
Yeah. Whether it is possible second to second or not, we will try at least with one. No? Let us become practical. Individually.
Yes.
Individually, we will try to connect up everything with him. To start with, he has listed so many activities. We pick up one. Make a commitment today that while I walk from this hall to some other place, I will try. While I sit, I will try. While I hear, I will try. Instead of talking about so many things, I will try to connect myself. Eat, drink, sleep, move, sit, stand, talk, think, look, hear, smell, touch, do everything in thy name and for thy sake. So it is not a tall talk, it is not a dictum or a dogma, but it is a practical suggestion. No? Any one of these activities we choose and start. No? Then only the real purpose of his motivating us to take up this in-depth study of In Quest of God gets fruitioned. Otherwise, like so many other books, other things, this also goes away, fades away after some time. Certainly, we may not be able to share this with this intensity after December. So before December 27th, 2022, not only that we have all these pictures, where there must be a commitment on our part to take up something from the LKG, UKG level. See, with that idea, when you go through how it is clear. This is from LKG level, simply not tall talk, You must submit to God, you must surrender to God. No. While you walk, while you sit, while you think, while you look, while you hear, these are something which we can easily understand, He is behind, he is behind, he is behind, he is behind. He is the pulsating force, activating force, enlivening force. Now and here,
No doubt through Guru Sannidhanam.
Yeah. Anything else?
Swamiji, I find that this tool which you gave us to remember God in a frequency that I know you are with me. Very powerful.
You are with me.
I know you are with me, powerful.
Yes, very powerful, Swamiji, all the time. And then also the conversation, putting all the onus on him. Why are you now giving me this thought when you are taking me to such high places and towards the higher mind? Then why are you giving me these thoughts? This kind of dialogue, these two I found to be very, very powerful tools.
Very powerful.
Very handy, useful tools.
Correct. Today, when we were going through the various chapters, we are trying to bring out a synopsis of the whole 37 chapters. And when we were doing that work, somehow, we happened to go through that Junagadh station, where, Papa climbed 9,500 steps to have the darshan of the footprints of Datta Guru. Acha, in what way, Climbing many of the temples or shrines are on the hilltop. Very difficult for people to reach there. Why did he motivate to have it there? So we suddenly, he made us to remember the words given by Pujya Swami Chidanji Maharaj at the time of our flag hoisting. What does flag hoisting mean? It is not simply, raising the flag. As a spiritual aspirant, It is a commitment, I am aware of the goal to be scaled. And there is a commitment on my part to scale. So similarly, going to the top of a hill, to have the darshan of a saint or the footprints or some symbol of or a deity, why it has been praised? This is the goal I have to reach, not merely going to the temple and coming back. Practically, it is demonstrated to us when Dattaguru's footprints are there. That means surrender, When we touch the footprints and do pranams, namaskars, that means an act of surrender. So the act of surrender is the height, to be scaled. So for that 9,500 steps, the individual has to go. So that means it is arduous, but at the same time, you are very clear. You don't come back in between. You teach us what is perseverance. You teach us the fixity of goal. You teach us that what is there symbolically. And you teach us there, unless you have a commitment, you will not be able to do it. And then, when all these things are combined together, He who is within you, who has prompted you to go, gives you the necessary strength and courage to take up this. So behind the ashram now, there is a hill, Manchapati hill. There the local people were prompted to have a small temple for Lord Anjaneya. So when we go there, the sight is bewitching, from there to look at the whole. But suppose we start developing this idea, to have the darshan of the indwelling Anjaneya there, I have to walk. And then, when I reach there, what is it? Apart from having the darshan and I am also seeing the varied manifestation of God from the top. So not merely the darshan of a particular deity or this thing, but we are also blessed to bring into our fold a larger spectrum, larger field of his creation. Think about it. So when he says sit, move, talk, walk, when we bring this dimension, these are all the things that well up in our heart. Oh, now I realize why you took me to that hill. Not merely to pay my respects to the deity there or to the Paduka there, but also you blessed me that with the vision, that when I raise myself from the lower level to the higher level, I will be able to accommodate more and more of your creation. Otherwise, from my level, the vision can only cover a limited creation. It becomes more and more clearer when I go up and up. So walking, talking, flying, driving, everywhere, we can try to bring in this. And then the joy we get is something, it is eternal. It is not just coming and going. It stays with us. So these two paragraphs, read, reread, 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 and again dwell, and then make a commitment that you will try through one of his activities.
You had mentioned that a thought cannot be destroyed, but it can only be transformed. This thought has been ringing in my mind for quite some time. And I feel that anything that is only can be destroyed. Unless a thought is created, how do you accept its existence? It can be created.
No, when the thought wells up in our mind, how does the thought well up? He made us to get in touch with a lot of sense objects through our sense organs. He made us to develop the pairs of opposites, infatuation or craving to have some aversion for some, all those things.
Yes, sir.
So when I go to the source, if the life is not there, the thought cannot exist. So when the thought, when I forgot about my life force, my moolam, my root, I start identifying all the pairs of opposites as pairs of opposites. But the moment I link myself, connect myself to the origin, suddenly I find, why have you brought? Then we will get the answer. Then he will make us to know, yesterday's sweet dish has become spoiled today. Oh, that is the nature. So don't say that only light is ignorance or what you call darkness. Darkness should be there to know light. Light will be there when there is no darkness. We cannot condemn darkness as down pulling. We cannot condemn ignorance as down pulling. Because the pairs of opposites will be there in the play of Maya, in the play of all what we see. So the moment we know that that is also his, then face changes. What does it mean? Face changes. Previously it was attracting us. It was enslaving us. It was taking us to the Maya. Now, no. It gets transformed. Because, like that you will say. And it gets transformed.
Seeing Rama and Ravana. Seeing Rama and Ravana.
Rama and Ravana. Rama became famous because because of Mandara, no? If Mandara had allowed the Pattabhishekam to take place, there won't be any Ramayana. So Mandara is not to be belittled or insulted or what you call looked down upon. Similarly, what is his name? Duryodhana's uncle? Shakuni. Shakuni is a noble figure. If Shakuni was not there, we would not have had Bhagavad Gita at all. Duryodhana was about to compromise by giving them 5 houses. But Shakuni said, don't, not a pin space. We all thought, Shakuni is the worst character. So now you see, it changes its faces, no? Previously we were looking down upon Mandara. Now we don't look at. So Mandara remains the same. The face gets changed. And not only that, we develop a reverence for them. But for but for Shakuni, this celestial, song celestial, the Bhagavad Gita would not have come at all. So this is what Papa meant when he said, when he had a dialogue with God, God made him to know, you cannot destroy. These are all the necessary parts everybody plays, but they will change their faces. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anything else?
But Swamiji, it's better knowing that God does everything, we are not doing anything. Why are we not able to progress further, Swamiji?
What we have known, you are right. What you say is only an academic knowledge,
Yes.
But this knowledge has to become applied knowledge, That means when we are talking now, when we are hearing now, when we are looking, somewhere in the corner of the mind it should be there. He is making us to do it. Otherwise it is a hollow talk. disconnected with the reality.
Incognito.
Disconnected with the reality.
Yes.
So we have to connect with the reality. That means remembrance. Only through remembrance, these words get clarified, these words get clarity, and we become clear. Otherwise, we are just reproducing what somebody has said.
Yes.
Control C, Control V. That's all. It will not have any deep impact. Copy paste. So that is why in good old days, and nowadays of course the new approach may have their own arguments, something we old people cannot understand. When I write something, there is a total involvement, seriously. But when I do this copy pasting, it is there, but not deep involvement. Suppose you are trying to take Papa's words. The world we live in is a school in which observation and experience offer me immeasurable opportunities for immense possibilities for self-improvement. Nay, the world itself is Guru or God. When I copy paste, I am not going along with the theme. But when I write, some amount of concentration is necessary. Otherwise, I may not be able to write properly. So this is applied knowledge. Knowledge is there, but it has to be applied. So, you lost your network connection?
They must have
Trying to reconnect?
Office, they must have switched it off.
No, I don't think so. They are there in the. I saw. I'll call them.
It's all right. It doesn't get broken, no?
No, sir.
They will be on. So let us all kindly try to go through the 2 paragraphs in the outpourings and make a commitment that we will start with something else, with something, in it. Either of these. Okay? That will do. Tomorrow is Sunday.
Yeah.
Let us all try to make as much as possible. Intense going through, these 2 paragraphs. Hari Om. Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Sri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. There is a beautiful article entitled Call on Him in Divine Life. It's a very inspiring article. Call on Him. Exactly, that is what we have to do now.
All on the Lord.
So that will help us, to connect ourselves with Him. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. This call on the Lord, there is a small video also in YouTube. You can kindly go through it. These are Papa's words only. And finally, how the door opens and how we get a glimpse of His presence. It has been beautifully brought out in that video. Hari Om.